Andy. This is who? This is Tyler. And that is his sign name. So, and I'm a deaf person. And he's going to be asking me a few questions about being in police. And I'm not in police, but if I were to be stopped, arrested, fought with, or in a medical emergency. So the first question I have for you is, what happens if you get pulled over? So, the information I'm going to give you is if I get pulled over. But it's never happened to me. I've never been pulled over by police. It's a different culture, different situation when I get pulled over. I put my hands in the steering wheel, I wait. I've never been pulled over before, so I'm just putting this all together. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to communicate. So he's going to come up, the officer, and he's going to ask me for my license and registration. I'm going to be sitting there. I'm going to be like, "What's the trouble, officer? Can you tell me? I'm deaf, so can you communicate with me?" And if he has trouble understanding, on my license, the information on there is going to have a code to give him information saying I am deaf. So I defend myself and saying I'm a deaf person. The way I communicate, so through the police and investigations, is in the computer, he's going to look up all that information. He's going to see through an app that I can communicate through the app with him. And he's going to walk back and he's going to be like, "I understand that you're deaf," and I'm going to try to write back and forth. It's a nice thing. It's a nice way. So he's going to ask me what happened, why I'm here. It's going to be a small little thing, little notepad that we pass back and forth. He's going to tell me what's up. So we're going to go back and forth, and it's going to be annoying. If the police officer gives me a hard time or a ticket, I'm going to ask, can I communicate about what happened? If I'm under arrest, why am I getting a ticket? So it's our next topic, sorry. You get stopped and they arrest you. What happens? So, if the police arrest me, it's different. It's different if this is a what if situation, because I've never been arrested or charged. So if I'm driving drunk and it's a DUI or drugs or whatever happens, he's going to ask me and give me a charge. He's going to arrest me. I'm going to be cuffed up here. I'm going to communicate. How am I going to communicate? I need to tell the officer, ask him that I'm deaf and I need to be let go because I can't talk to you. So we're going to have a problem talking to you if I can't use my hands. Give him the information, like I said, in an application. Who's going to talk to me through the application? The police. And he's not going to say anything. He's just going to sit there and wait. I love it. He's going to ask. I'm going to ask for an interpreter. I'm going to ask for a lawyer. I'm going to take the information from the police. Ask for his badge number, information about him, where I'm going, why, what, everything. I'm going to just ask for everything while I'm arrested. Why am I arrested? Through my lawyer. and through an interpreter. That's how the process goes. It's very complicated. So I've never been arrested, but it would take me by surprise, and it'd be a long, hard experience for me being arrested by the police, being cuffed up and asking, what's going on? Why am I arrested? I'm not able to say anything. I'm just going to sit there and hope that the officer takes his time and just waits. What's going on here? What are the police saying to me? I don't understand. I'm very curious because I am handcuffed. I can't freaking sign to them. And when I'm moving, it's going to be very, very, very scary. It's going to be very, very hard. I need the police to tell me what's going on. It's a hard time, yes. So why is it bad to be cuffed when you're deaf? So normally, if my hands are behind my back, it's bad because they're together. It's not something that I can easily communicate with. I can't communicate with the police officers very well if my hands are behind my back. How am I going to be talking to them if my hands are behind my back? It's hard. It's very hard. So if you go and you're a police officer somewhere and you're with a deaf person, don't cuff them behind their back. Because no one who's deaf can communicate with their mouth. It's hard. 1 in 5 people who are deaf can use their voice. And if their hands are not free and they're back here, how are they going to communicate? Right. So you have a lawyer. How are you going to communicate with your lawyer? So how I'm going to communicate with my lawyer, I'm going to ask for an interpreter. I have to. Illinois lawyers require a interpreter for the court and the government. Either one, my name, sign, whatever. That's what information I have to give them. So they're going to ask me questions, and questioning, he requires a lawyer. He requires an interpreter to communicate moving forward. I have to have an interpreter from the government. I have several things because I have to be able to understand what's going on. And it depends on the situation. It depends on, these mean levels. So it depends on what level charge I'm at. I have to defend myself with a lawyer, and I want that lawyer to be high level. If they're going to be communicating with me, I need to be able to defend myself with the lawyer. And that's why I would ask for an interpreter. The lawyer needs to be able to communicate with me, so that's why I ask for a lawyer. It's very complicated to defend myself with one defense lawyer without an interpreter. If I have an interpreter, it's easier. I know how I would go through the situation with a lawyer and an interpreter, because having them both together will help me in that situation, right? Can I help you better with one interpreter, one lawyer, to defend yourself? Both of them together. I need them. In Illinois, the courts are a long time. I have to have 2 interpreters because by law, they have to switch out with each other for, it's 1 hour. They switch. Hey, thanks for watching this, and thanks Harriet Johnson for teaching me a little bit about police work.